free.ign.com. Ever since its first trailer, people have been talking about Dead Island. Well, it's time to see the game in action. Greg Miller is with us now to help fight off some zombies.
Thank you so much, Naomi. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, even if you think you know nothing of Dead Island, I assure you, you do. Let me give you a reminder. Bing, bong, bing, bong. Vincent from Deep Silver, how are you?
How are you doing?
Good. Show me Dead Island. What are we looking at today?
We're going to see Dead Island in action today. We're going to play with a character called Logan. And we're going to help a couple of people that are trapped in the church. So we save them of zombies attacking and are now able to actually take the missions to help them out and to get them and to do favors for them, basically. And so in this scenario right now, we're taking a side mission because we have this open world structure. We have the main quest and we have side quests on the way. So we take a side quest of helping one particular guy out to find his family. We are putting up posters all over the city.
Gotcha.
And then if everything runs smoothly for this guy, his family is going to be finding him later on in the process.
Vincent, you guys made a huge splash with your first trailer. And when people now ask you, I saw the trailer, what's your game about? How do you describe Dead Island to somebody?
When you describe Dead Island, you always have to say, like, we're going for an adult and a mature setting. There's so much in there. No, but it's definitely, it's action-packed and it's an action RPG to say so, but you always, of course, have this melee-fighting zombie action. And so this combination of zombie action and action RPG, this is what we are, actually.
Gotcha.
So you have the open world, but you start off the game as a normal visitor of the island. You don't have any special powers, you just know how to defend yourself with like a plank, whatever. And then throughout the game, you get new skills, you get new possibilities, and you get like this badass zombie killer that you are at the end of the game. And this is going to be something you notice throughout it, by new weapons, by crafting new weapons, by your new skill sets, and by the character himself that is going to be more powerful.
You just cut off that dude's head. That was awesome.
Yeah. It's gruesome. You go for the head, you cut off some limbs, some arms, you break a leg, whatever. It's all you can do in the game.
Now you're talking about we're playing as Logan right now. There are multiple characters and they all have a different scheme to them, right? They all have a different power.
Exactly. Like we have 4 different characters that stand for 4 different character classes. So pretty much what they do is like to start the game with a different background story. You pick the character of your choice that fits like your own persona. And so while leveling up, they all have different skill trees and different unique skill sets. So there's going to be like an assassin character, there's going to be like a tank, and they use like one guy goes for the blunt weapons, the other one likes knives and sharp weapons, one is faster, the other one is slower, and they all have like unique skills there that they can use, like for example the rage skill. And so playing these characters is going to feel different to the other one if you choose, for example, Cheng Mei or Logan in this case.
Gotcha. So now, technically, if I get this game and I think it's awesome and I want to play it non-stop, I'm going to have 4 playthroughs to go through to level all my characters up?
Exactly, like if you want to do that, the game itself is story-based, so you have like 25 to 30 hours of gameplay if you play single player.
Jeez,
and you started with that character and play it to the end, and then later on you want to check it out again with the other character. And on top of that, we have the 4-player co-op multiplayer if you want to play with your friends together.
Now how does that work? Do I suck people into my game? Can I join other people's games?
You can do that, exactly. It's seamless drop in, drop out. So right now we're playing single player. Let's say a friend of ours goes online, sees us, we can invite him, we can ask to be invited. He joins our game for a couple of hours, drops out again, we continue single player, and that's with up to 4 players.
Now, one of the things when I played the game that you guys had was combining weapons, making a C4 throwing knife, making an electrified machete, which you're using right there. How did you guys approach it in a way that didn't make it incredibly goofy? You know what I mean? Like Dead Rising 2 did the same thing where you could combine things, but you're making, exploding teddy bears and all this stuff. And yours isn't that over-the-top craziness, really.
Exactly. Yeah, we try to make it as realistic and mature as possible when it comes to a zombie setting in a video game. So it's of course going to be over the top at one point, but at the same place we just have like, you can imagine that this could actually work. Like you have a battery, you have a machete, and if someone wants to do some additional damage, you could combine the stuff. So it's not going to be just picking up goofy things all over the place, but really you find a blueprint, you build the weapon, and it feels over the top, but it still feels like in a realistic setting.
One of the craziest things I know about you, Vincent, is that you showed this trailer. We haven't heard from this game in so long. You showed this trailer just a few months ago, and now you've already announced it's coming out in September. That's insane. How long have you guys been working on this behind the scenes, and how hard was it to keep that secret?
I mean, obviously we try to communicate it as late as possible because like the game has been announced first on E3 2007 when the people of Techno were working on it already. It had a lot of stuff going on there, this open world island, all that stuff happening. But since then we have changed a lot of things. So we wanted to make sure when we put out the trailer that we know what the game is going to be about exactly and that we can show to the customer and the players what exactly is going to happen at that island. So yeah, the game is coming out now in September. We're working as crazy on it right now to finish it up. But this is actually what you guys are going to have the experience of playing later on, so we're not going to change it that much anymore. This is really like the feeling that we want to communicate with this game.
Now, for people who are seeing the game for the first time, this blue bar keeps popping up on the screen. What is that?
That's a stamina bar, because we have a stamina bars with every character, and what is the reason for that is that if you just go into melee combat fighting, slashing and dicing all the time, you're not going to get the survival feeling. And so with a stamina bar, when you go into a fight and you just like swirl around the weapon that's crazy, your stamina bar is going to be empty at one point and you're not going to be able to fight anymore. And being surrounded by zombies at that point, this is pretty much going to be the last breath in your life.
Gotcha.
So this is the stamina bar. You run, you lose stamina. You fight, you lose stamina. You use a weapon that is not like your weapon, because, for example, one character is good with knives, and when she has to fight with a hammer, she loses more stamina than when she fights with a knife. So this is a tactical reason for that stamina bar when we have it in the game.
And what is happening right here?
That is the rage mode. So for example, Logan, when he goes into his rage mode, he throws knives, and that do an incredible amount of damage and really looks cool. And then after like 5 to 10 seconds, this mode is over again, and he has to replenish his rage bar again by killing zombies. And so you just have that like every couple of minutes you have that mode available to you, depending on how many zombies you fought. But when you're in there, you do kick ass.
Now, while we were talking, Adrian died.
Yes.
I didn't die when I ran this part of the demo. Do you want to mock him on air?
He died once yesterday already, but I do not want to mock him, because like else he's going to be pissed at me and then I'm going to suffer.
No, don't worry.
Well, he's going to put me in the game and then just have me killed.
Once in a while. Now, as far as the story is very important here, have you guys gone into details about how this outbreak's happening? Is it being spread by bites? Is it being spread by some other means?
We haven't gotten into that so far, but the one thing you do know as a character is you cannot be turned. You have been bitten in the beginning of the game,
okay.
So, and you have not been turned. So what exactly is the reason for the outbreak and what happened there, you're going to find out playing the game. Because in the beginning of the game, you just are there as a visitor, you're being attacked, and you just wonder what is happening, how do I get out of here? That's all you know. And then you find out more and more and more throughout the game. And one thing that we can see here is we have indoor levels and outdoor levels. So what you can see is in indoor levels, it's way darker. We gave you flashlights, so the feeling in the whole thing, and the sewers, for example, here is way different than out there. So when you play through the game, you start off at the tropical beach. It's sunshine, it's really white beaches, the hotel, everything is wonderful. It's a paradise. And proceeding through the game, the destruction hits the island more and more. You go into the city that we just saw, you go indoors, it's going to be darker and all that. So the mood of the whole game changes throughout the game.
One of the things we haven't really touched on is the zombies themselves. You're seeing them pop up here, and they have different names, and then they have levels. Is the leveling system organic? I mean, if I'm level 10, am I usually fighting level 10 zombies, or am I going to run into level 90 zombies?
There's going to be zombies that you do not want to fight in the beginning of the game. They're going to be way too strong for you. But the way this game works is it adapts to the game itself. Like, for example, when you play the game in single player level 10, you're going to meet zombies most of the time that are matching your level caps, stuff like that. But then friends of you go online, so we have more zombies and tougher zombies in the game just to match the playstyle of 2 players or 3 players or 4 players. So the game is constantly adapting to the way or the amount of players playing the game and you leveling up and having the skill set that you have.
So it's this open world where you can go anywhere just from the beginning. Could I just wander off and go do what I want? I mean, I'd probably get attacked and killed, but...
Exactly. No, there's a big area in the beginning where you actually start the game that is the hotel and there's the beach and all that. And this is going to be a huge area, but some of the other areas are going to be off limits for you in the beginning of the game because of national boundaries. Like there's a mountain you cannot pass because the tunnel is blocked. Or there's a huge crowd of zombies that just will kill you when you try to go over there. So in the beginning, it's not going to be the full island to your disposal. But later on, when you have reached another area, we have a fast travel system in there, so you can just go back there. Or you just grab a car and go driving a car back to the area you just started from.
Which is very tough. I've tried to drive in your game, and man, I am bad at it. But I like running over the zombies.
That's the fun part, right?
Yeah, right. How big is the island? I mean, like, are you talking, I mean, you say island, is it just a resort island? Is it a hotel and that's pretty much it?
No, it's going to be different areas in the game. I mean, it's tough to say how big it's going to be, but just to give you an example, you're going to be in the beach area and the hotel in the beginning. Then you go inwards and you're going to be in the jungle area, you're going to be in the city, there's going to be like police stations, supermarkets and stuff like that. And there's also going to be areas that you do not expect on the island that are story driven, of course. So there's a lot to do and a lot of explore in the island.
You talk about, combining weapons. We clearly have a gun here. You've talked about in past demos, though, that like guns aren't just going to be immediately available, right?
Exactly.
How are you guys making the weapon system work?
So we're going to be focusing on melee combat for sure, because as you're just a visitor on the island, you don't bring all your weapon arsenal with you. So you just pick up whatever you can and to defend yourself. But of course, example here, the city, there's going to be like a dead policeman on the ground. You pick up his gun, you pick up the shots that are in that gun, like 15 or 20 shots.
Gotcha.
But then the ammunition is going to be over. So it's not going to be about weapons and finding the weapons that is going to be the most tough part, but it's going to be getting ammunition for those weapons that is even tougher. So you are going to be going back to your baseball bat, to your electric machete, whatever you have in your hands most of the time. But sometimes, if you're really lucky, you're going to have the handfire guns there to your disposal.
And on top of being able to upgrade weapons, you can walk around and repair them, correct? And not, I'm sorry, I said upgrade. I meant, repair. Yeah. But yeah, you can repair them, you can upgrade them to make them better, right? And then combine them on top of that.
Exactly. We have a weapon decay system in there. So you pick up a weapon, you swing it like 15 to 20 times, and it's going to be decaying and decaying until to the point where it's not usable anymore. So you need to find a workbench, you need to repair the weapon if you want to keep using it, and then you can upgrade that weapon if you have the cash to do so, because we also have like a cash system in the game, because there are characters on this island that think help is on its way, and they want to make a buck out of the whole thing when they survive, so they have something to show off that they survived Hanoi. So there is a trading system, you can get cash, you can upgrade the weapons accordingly, and then you can create the new weapons out of the weapons you already have.
Okay, so what haven't we touched on, Vincent, about Dead Island that everyone out there needs to know?
I think we touched most of it. I think for everyone who loves exploring open world environment, this is a great game. For everyone who loves to be in a really melee-fighting action combat there, that's a great game. And to just follow the story and get to know the entities in the background and the emotions of a zombie outbreak on the Paradise Island like that, this is something people will enjoy. And of course the setting itself, because just going on an island like that and hearing the waves hitting the beach and hearing the crickets and everything, and then seeing that this is turned bad is a unique experience in there.
Vincent, thank you so much for coming here.
Thanks to you.
Have a great show. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Dead Island comes out this September. Until then, take a bite out of something else. Naomi.
Thanks a bunch, guys. And if that game made you fans hungry for brains, let us know. Follow at IGN on Twitter and tweet with the hashtag E3. Up next, we're going to take a closer look at Gears of War 3's Horde mode. We'll see you soon.
Kom van die straten af. Where's the American? Ik heb geen idee niet. The refinery in a shipping container.